Hey, this is Rachel from the Life Facilitator, and I am doing a video today talking about how I store my Cocoa Daisy Daisy Dory inserts and also my simple Dories once they're used or once I've used them. So to start, I have purchased several of the Cocoa Daisy Traveler's Notebook covers. They are meant for the standard size Traveler's Notebook. However, you could also fit a standard wide insert in here. And so my idea with getting several was to store my inserts according to how I use them. And yeah, so I'm going to walk through them now. So basically the simple Dories are in here. The Daisy Dories that I used for like more planning purposes are in here. And then the more journal type Daisy Dory is in here. Oh no, I got that wrong. This way. These are the simple Dories, which get pretty chunky, as you can see, and then these are the more journal type Dories. And so let me walk through them now. So I'll start with the planner inserts. So during the month that I use the simple Dory, I do have it set up in a Traveler's Notebook, and actually I'll just grab the one that I am using for November. So throughout the month, I typically have my Traveler's Notebook set up like this. So I pull a cover from my shelf and then I decorate it, and then I usually put both the standard Dory and the simple Dory together in one cover. And then and so for the beginning part of 2020, I was going between the A5 and the standard. And when I got the A5, I would trim it down to standard wide size. So that's why this one's a little bit larger than the other ones. But for the beginning of 2020, I was using the standard Dory more as a health tracker. I'll just do a quick flip of January. So I was doing like little wins and sort of small win moments in the front. I had a big habit tracker in the middle, calendar, and then in the back I had my like food and fitness all tracked there. February was very similar. I just switched where things went. So food and fitness went in the front, and then tracker in the middle, and then little wins in the back. And then I switched a bunch of, March I did a similar thing again. So food and fitness in the front. And then this COVID started hitting us in March, so I did do a little bit of like memory keeping in this notebook. I did a lot more in my simple Dory, and then little wins in the back. Now, April, I did the same thing. So for several months, I was basically doing the same thing. So food and fitness in the front, and then tracker, which fell off with that. And then in the back, I did little wins, and had less success with it in April because we sheltered in place in Iowa. And so my planning kind of got muddled while I was there. So once the month is over, I put it in this cover, and as you can see, I'm pretty much full for this one. So I may have to get another cover. Now, I don't have to have the Cocoa Daisy covers. I just like the Cocoa Daisy covers, one, because they're really affordable, but also it signals to my brain that these are Daisy Dory inserts, or they're from Cocoa Daisy, so I know where to look for them. So that's the planner inserts. And then I also started using the Daisy Dory insert for more journaling purposes, and I've done this for a long time. In fact, this is how I first found Cocoa Daisy, was using the Daisy Dory for journaling. So in April I used the Simple Dory for journaling and faith journaling and that sort of thing. And so this was really fun to use for that. And then I switched, as time went on, I switched into the standard Dory for the journaling. And there's a chunk of time between April and August because May I didn't have my kit, so I was kind of working with what I got, and I had disc punched it. June I disc punched it. July is back here. So I'll go to July next. So July I used the Daisy Dory to do journaling. And also I pull things from my stash, and I stamp, and I use a bunch of different stuff in these little journals, which I really like. And then here's August. And some months I'm better at filling it than others, but once the month is over, I tend to just pull it out and start a new one because I don't mind having a few empty pages. I'd rather just start a new one when the new month comes. And so this is how I've stored the ones that I use for journaling. Put it in a separate cover. And again, you don't have to use a Cocoa Daisy cover. I'm sure if you're using traveler's notebooks, you probably have a few extras that you're either not using or you don't pull from as much. So you could always put them in older covers. I like these covers a lot. Oh, and you can purchase these in their Etsy store, the Cocoa Daisy Etsy store, and I'll leave a link below to that. And then lastly, the Simple Dory that I use more for memory keeping they are all tucked in here. And this is like, each one is pretty chunky because these get kind of full. So February's, I think I filled most of it, but again, see, I didn't fill all of it, and that's okay. I'd rather just put it away than fuss over the pages that I didn't finish. I feel like for me with the Simple Dory, like good enough is good enough. And so, yeah. Here's March's. I absolutely loved this month. The colors, and I think it was easier for me to fill this one up because I really jived with the product. And also there was a lot to talk about in March because it was sort of quarantine, the beginning of, COVID pandemic, at least in the US, or where we were. And yeah, so that's my March Simple Dory. And then this one is July because, as I mentioned, for the next couple months, the Simple Dory got used for different things. So here's July. I also really loved this month, and I think I filled most of it and did really simple little layout. I mean, this is just pocket card photo, which is I like having both in here. Cute, cute, cute. Yep, so dashboard, sticker, photo, super easy. I do have a process on that one, process video, and that one. And yeah, so that's how I store my simple Dories when I'm using them for memory keeping. And I also should mention, a couple months I also trimmed down my simple Dory. So in August I trimmed it down, and in September I trimmed it down. So those are actually living in pocket sized traveler's notebooks. So I hope that helps in thinking about how to store your traveler's notebooks once you've used them. I do like having them in a cover because oftentimes the elastic is the only thing keeping the notebook together, or keeping the insert together. And so my tip is, either invest in, a couple extra covers that are going to be used for storing used inserts, or just pull covers that you have from your stash that you're not going to be sort of using month to month, and start storing your inserts in there, and maybe have a system about which ones you store where. So I hope that helps, and leave any comments below if you have any, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!